If you're a driven, active person who wants to reach and pursue a higher quality life with some ambition, then guess what? This podcast is for you. This is the Driven Athlete Podcast. What's up, y'all? It's your man, Dr. Kyle. Welcome back to the Driven Athlete Podcast. We got special guest Spencer Tibbs with us today. He's heavily involved with Valor CrossFit down in Delray.
Delray Beach.
Delray Beach. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming in. I know you're a busy dude.
Thank you.
So tell everybody where Valor is and what y'all want your culture to be known for.
Well, we're in Delray Beach. We're right off of Northeast 4th Street. And I mean, basically, we try to be a gym for everybody. There's a lot of competitive gyms in the area. We don't feel like we need to scratch that itch necessarily. So, I mean, I've got members that are 73 and I got members as young as 14. So we really want it to be like a family gym. We're really big on community. We do at least one community event every month. And obviously we're trying to bring more masters athletes in, for longevity, and also just kind of dispel the myth that CrossFit is dangerous.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Well, before we do that, I wanted to ask, what led you to become with this journey, be part of this journey, to open a CrossFit gym?
Well, I was in retail management for a long time, and that was paying the bills, but it wasn't like fulfilling.
It's a way different on the spectrum of career path.
For sure. And I found that one day I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it anymore. And I just was like overwhelmed with the stress. And I just said, I was like, I'm going to be a CrossFit coach. I had my level 1 already, but I hadn't done anything with it. And I knew that I wanted to like help people. Like, I feel like everybody has a purpose, but I feel like most people can trace their purpose to some kind of like service, acts of service. And so I quit my job and I was like, I'm going to do it. And I had no idea how I was going to do it. So I ended up, working part-time at Starbucks for a little bit to pay the bills after I left my main job, and just started applying at gyms. I started coaching at Hugh, which is big down here.
Which one?
West Delray.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then I went on to coach at CrossFit Zeal in Royal Palm. With that group of people, it was an awesome experience. I got to open another gym. So both of those gyms were brand new. So I got to literally see like the flooring go in, the equipment I put together probably more Concept 2 equipment than probably anybody. And then went on to eventually Delray Beach for a little bit, coached there. And then finally now Valor. So they offered me the head coach position when they were opening up. And I've been there full time ever since.
Cool. That's awesome. And when'd y'all open?
March 3rd.
Oh, so there you go.
We're coming up on a year.
1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's really cool. Well, congrats. I think it's a huge leap because like you were in a comfortable setting and then you went somewhere that you didn't know what was going to be like.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it anyway. Do you have a plan? Do you have this going on? Do you have that? And it's like,
no,
I'll figure it out.
No plan. And I mean, like that was the first time, it was a good experience for me because I was betting on myself, but it paid off. And that was like a cool thing to happen because you're like, wow, like when I actually do believe in myself, I can do things. So.
Yeah. I think it shows like, do you follow Jocko Willink at all? This Navy SEAL guy?
I'm a Jocko fan. I've read a couple of his books.
Yeah. I love the same, where it's like just taking ownership of your life. It's not what you did.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Congrats.
Thank you.
So you've been the head coach there since March of last year. Tell us what your role, like, what does that include? Like, what does that entail?
Well, I was recently promoted to general manager as well. So general manager, head coach. I basically helped run the business day to day with the team, scheduling with coaches. Basically, if a coach is out sick, then that's going to be me that's covering. So I'm there pretty much 6 to 7 days a week. We try to, hold standards at our gym. So we're big on like cleanliness. Just because it's a CrossFit gym doesn't mean it has to be like dirty, you know what I mean? Or like rusted barbells or anything. Obviously, I was saying this earlier, we're fighting the humidity in Florida. So like rust is a constant enemy, but we do our best to kind of offset that.
That's good.
Cleanliness, standards of coaching. Like, I always say my coaches, they all have their own flavors and personality. And I want that to come through, but we do want to coach the same throughout the day. So like, I'm not teaching a movement a totally different way than another coach is.
Yeah.
So their personality, their sense of humor still comes through in that class, and I want that because I want my coaches to be able to shine. But we do like have standards for like how we do that.
Yeah, that's good. It's for the continuity and consistency of messaging and stuff, but still enable individuality,
Yeah.
and buy-in from their end,
Yeah. And I mean, I want them to be able to, because that's what members, it should be fun. It shouldn't just be like a chore. Like we're not here for an hour. Like we're here for an hour, but we were going to make it a fun hour.
Yeah.
And my job is to try to make it the best hour of your day.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. So yeah, what do you want to say to people like, oh, I don't want to do CrossFit because it's not safe? What do you say?
I mean, I kind of go back to what I said about like, I mean, I have a member that's 73. There's days where like she's probably not going to hang off the rig. You know what I mean? So she's not going to be doing pull-ups or certainly not like muscle ups or anything like that.
Yeah.
But we scale everything based on ability and based on fitness level, or if they're deconditioned or if they're coming to us for the first time. So, I mean, something like Fran is one that I use all the time, right? Like, so 21, 15, 9, barbell thrusters, 95, 65, and then pull-ups. So I can get my grandmother to do that workout. It's just not going to look the same, but it's going to be the same stimulus for her. It's relative to her ability level.
Yeah.
So if I ever sit on a box with a PVC and a band over the rig and she's doing banded lat pull downs or something, instead of actually physically hanging from the rig, maybe her shoulders can't take that. That's fine. And maybe she does like with an empty broom or like a PVC, she does her thrusters that way, or sits to a box and then stands and presses the PVC overhead.
Yeah.
Like there's infinite ways that we can scale it based on like what people are going
So just appropriate modification.
Exactly.
To meet people where they're at. That's cool. That's awesome, man. And I'm sure y'all have grown with the past year.
Yes, sir.
Members have grown. High demand. How many members do you have right now?
I think we're around 78.
That's awesome. I mean, for only a year in, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously we're grateful for every one of them. We just keep promoting and trying to push more and more and get more people in because we really believe in what we're doing. So it's very easy to sell when you love what you do.
Yeah, totally. I think like that's what I've heard too, is like one of the number one things that people can tell, because people are intuitive, like humans are intuitive, but from like a cultural standpoint of just like conviction of like, you seem to like really like what you do.
Yeah.
And you're passionate about it. And I just believe you because of how much you believe in your thing,
For sure. There must be something there because this person's convicted.
Right. Totally. And what about your programming? Like, would you guys, I know you mentioned you're a Rich Froning fan.
I'm a big Rich Froning fanboy for sure.
So you follow their programming from
Mayhem?
CrossFit Mayhem.
Yeah. So Rich's cousin, Darren, writes the affiliate programming. But obviously Rich is still involved. There's some workouts will come up and it's literally something that Rich did one day and they put it in. So we're huge fans of Mayhem. But what's fun about Mayhem is it's like a game. Like the workouts are very fun. It should feel like play. Is what I always say. Like it shouldn't feel like a chore, and that's what CrossFit is known for. It's fun because it's changing it up, and you have different rounds of different movements. Maybe we're alternating between 2 movements and a couplet, or like 3 movements and a triplet, or we're doing a chipper, and it kind of keeps things fresh, as opposed to like I'm going to do 4 by 12 reps of this one movement, and then I'm going to rest. It can be kind of monotonous that way.
Yeah.
So I think that's where we get people in. Is it's like, oh, it's hard, but it's like a game.
Yeah. So it just allows more people to stay engaged, not
sure.
bored. Be like, oh, I don't want to go today.
Yeah. Nobody ever said they were bored.
That's good. That's good.
Tired, maybe. Not.
I mean, CrossFit's super intense. Like it's hard.
Absolutely.
It's definitely challenges, and with group exercise, like I'm always an advocate for a group because it just helps with like not being boring, but then also you just push yourself further than you would otherwise by yourself listening to your headphones at like LA Fitness,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, the hardest part for me is the warm up, but warm up is so much easier when there's other people. We're all here doing the same thing, and it makes it very easy for me.
What makes it hard for you?
It's just getting moving.
Just starting.
Yeah.
The inertia.
Once I get into it, I'm good. But that's why I like, you do it with your members. And what I like is I'll actually take the classes. So I want to know what the members are feeling and if I need to tweak anything, which Mayhem's really cool about that. So they encourage us to tweak the programming and own it, kind of like your ownership point with Jocko. But it's like, it's true. It's like maybe that doesn't work for your facility or your membership for that day. They encourage you to tweak it, and I'll do that. If I find the members are particularly beat up, and if I'm beat up, they're beat up, You know what I mean? So if I'm doing the same workouts, that's a better way for me to keep a pulse,
It's a
like
good
a
tell.
finger on the pulse of the membership.
That's a great idea. So what makes you a fan of Rich Froning?
He's the GOAT, man. He's the GOAT. What I always say with Rich is, everybody knows about Matt Fraser.
What does it say?
Yeah, he won 5 years and Rich won 4. But Rich, people forget that Rich was dominant in the space for over a decade. So he was still competing on a team and still winning team titles well after he retired from individual competition. And he's just a really good dude. Like he really does a lot to help people. He's involved in a ton of like charitable foundations and that they've started as well. Like they did Mayhem for Water, where they provided clean drinking water to villages in Africa. Like they just do all kinds of stuff. And I feel like that's what the other cool thing about CrossFit is, the community and like bettering. Like at Iron Valor, like we want Delray to be better because we are there, not just shameless self-promotion, but also like helping the community at large. We do a ton of stuff for like veterans. This is probably our biggest charitable contribution.
That's cool. How would you convey to people, like, what is CrossFit?
Well, I could give you the textbook, constantly varied functional movements executed at high intensity.
Say it again.
Constantly varied functional movements executed at high intensity. So that's like the textbook definition of CrossFit. But if I was to describe it, I would just say, like, if you have to pick stuff up off the floor, then you're doing a deadlift. We do that all the time. If you're squatting, you're getting in and out of a chair or like off the toilet or whatever it is. Like those things are functional that we have to do in our daily life, and we might as well practice how to do it efficiently.
Yeah.
And I know you guys deal with that all the time. Like you might have somebody that has like an improper hinge pattern or something that needs to be like kind of course corrected so that they don't injure themselves further, or that they can overcome an injury.
Yeah. What I usually tell people for us is like, we deal with pain. People are in pain. They call us because something's hurting and they don't know what's going on. And they're like, it's been going on for a little while. Do I need an imaging? Do I need surgery? Like, what should I do? And then what's the course of action? How do we fix it? Because a pill isn't going to fix a movement pattern that caused the dysfunction to begin with.
Right.
The dysfunction to begin with. So constantly varied functional movements executed at high intensity. So high intensity is the goal.
It can be. I would say that's something where like people finagle that definition now, where it's just like intensity or relative intensity.
Intensive for them.
Yeah, relative to them. And then also like there's days where we do interval stuff. Like we do have programmed rest. Some people would argue those days are harder because if you have the rest, it's normally for a reason in between intervals. But also like there's days where like if I know a member's feeling beat up, maybe they're an RX athlete and they always do RX, but that day they feel particularly sore, they want to do something. Maybe we scale it down for that day just so that they're still getting blood flow and they get to move, but we're not like exacerbating anything.
Overstressing everything.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Something I've heard with that is like central nervous system overload, where it's like, what are your thoughts on that?
I see it. I've had it happen before. We've had some stuff like I would say any program, like there's always stuff that's not perfect. We've had some days where we had some heavy deadlifts into a heavy deadlift workout. And for me, what I experience with CNS is like, if I'm like taxed, like I just pass out on the bed and I don't even remember what happened. Like I'm so drained. And for me, like heavy deadlifts is a quick way for me to get there. So if there's a lot of reps at a heavy weight on the deadlift, it just totally saps everything out of my entire body.
Yeah. I believe it.
Yeah.
I know another way that CNSs get wiped out is having a lot of kids. Like, oh my, talking about like lay down to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like my wife, she manages, we got 3 kids, 5, 3, and 1. And the 1-year-old still wakes up at least once a night. My 3-year-old, he's been getting up at least once a night and coming into our bed. Sometimes twice. We'll put him back. Maybe 5 to 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Like last night, he came in our bed. I put him back. He came back again. Put him back. And in the morning at 6 a.m., he came running in. But anyway, laying down, I'm like, hey, I was telling my wife, I'm like, how many times did you get up last night? She's like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
That's a blur. I don't remember.
I was gonna say, if it's a lot for you, it's probably more right for her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Just taxed, It's like, why am I so tired all the time? It's like, oh yeah. Which also like a super interesting question for people is like, for busy people that have a lot going on, a lot of moving parts, how do they prioritize to still be like, well, I got to work out. Like I can't not, versus like I can't work out because I'm so busy.
Yeah, that's actually the perfect example. So we do member of the month every month, just highlighting a member that kind of like reflects our values. Our last member of the month was Bree, and she's a mom. So she has 2 kids and she has a husband, and she's very busy. She also works, right? So we were doing this integrity challenge for January, where we encourage people to check off. You'd get like a point for every category, and there was 4 categories. You could do
Okay.
1 point per category per day. So one was like mind, so it was like reading 10 pages or meditating or something like that, even prayer, if that's something like just whatever that individual did, as long as you were devoting time for your mind. Body would be exercising. So if you check into a class, then you get a point. Or if you're even if you're at home, you couldn't come to the gym. If you like, do mobility, stretching, something like that, and then like acts of service, which we talked about, like we're big on service. So you see maybe like an older woman at the grocery store, she needs help loading her groceries, you go out of your way. So like we said, holding the door open does not count. Like you should be doing that. Like you should be a good person all the time. But if you're going out of your way to assist somebody who's in need, then that was a point.
Yeah.
And then the last one, I'm trying to remember, I'm going to blank on it. Service. I can't remember the other one. I'm blanking.
We'll come back to it.
But the idea is that she made the time, even though she had all these other responsibilities, to prioritize herself, because we don't believe that you can like pour from an empty cup, right? So she had to kind of give herself that time of her as a person. So then she was able to go and be mom, wife, daughter, etc.
Yeah. Interesting. So what do you think someone like that's secret to success of being consistent, to be able to get the workouts in? Like, what is it?
Honestly,
Scheduling? Is it just underlying discipline, knowing your why? Like, is that something y'all do too?
I think all of those things, but also just like we talked about it, I think, but like motivation versus discipline.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe I don't feel motivated to do it, but I'm gonna do it because it's part of my routine and I make it a thing, and it's a thing I have to check off that list every day.
Yeah.
Like, no different than brushing my teeth or whatever it is.
Right. It's a great point.
Yeah.
Like to make it to a habit where it's like, it's the similar thing as brushing my teeth.
Yeah. It should just be repetition. It's just part, I'm just going through the motions. This is my workout. I'm here to do it. And that's what a lot of our members like, is that they don't have to think about it. They come in, we tell them what to do. We make sure they do it safely, effectively, and then they go home and they can go about it.
And they get out of there. Yeah. Explain I heard the motivation versus discipline through Jocko. Is that also you?
Yeah. I mean, there's a million, but he's a big one for sure.
Explain your version of motivation versus discipline.
I mean, for me, I know that I feel better when I work out. So my discipline comes from like, look, it's not always fun. I might not feel great on the way in, but I've never finished working out and been like, I regret that.
Yeah. I immediately regret what I did.
Right. I mean, like maybe it was rough, but it's like, I feel better that I did it. I feel like I accomplished something, and now I can kind of take that momentum through my day and like kind of carry with that and like do more things.
Yeah. I know for me personally too, like if I stack a couple of those in a row, the momentum really builds. And then I'm like, it's easy. I'm rolling. I'm easy. It's easy to knock. I'm just going to knock a workout real quick. I'm going to knock out a workout. I'll be done in 45 minutes versus like, I got to put my shoes on. Yeah. It seems like this huge thing.
And it's a snowball, but like in a good way. Like it just builds and it gets easier.
So what would you tell somebody? What things would you want to say, convey to maybe a new person, a new member, someone's debating about doing it, and they're like, I don't know if I can stay consistent. It seems really difficult. They're changing a lifestyle almost.
Sure.
What would you say?
What I normally say is that there's probably other things besides just fitness that you might want to add to your life and that we can kind of help you with, which is really that community aspect. So like you said, right? Like it's not just easier that it's working out along other people. It's like they're doing it. It makes it easier for me to do it. But those people are also human beings that are like complex and multifaceted, and they have their own lives and stories. And when you get to know those people, which is the best part about my job, you see these 2 members that kind of connect, and then they're talking, and now they're best friends, and they're going out for coffee. And then you want to go to class because it's like, oh, my friend's going to be there. Like, we're going to work out together. And then we like to joke with each other about who gets the best time, or, who lifted what. And I feel like that's what I try to sell to people, is like, this isn't just for your fitness and your well-being, like physically, but like mentally. You're going to have relationships. Like once you leave college, like most people don't want to like hang out with all the people they work with, just realistically.
Yeah.
But it's like, this is a way that you can continue to make new relationships and new friendships, no matter how old you are, especially if you just moved here from Texas or wherever. You really get that opportunity to like make new friends. And like, I think that is way more than just the fitness aspect.
Yeah, I got you. So what you would say to them is like, you're going to build new relationships, going to keep you more motivated and
accountable.
Yeah.
Because those people are going to be like, hey, where are you?
Where were you?
We love hanging out. Why didn't you come to the workout?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe I should go. I'll be there tomorrow.
How long would you tell that person? Let's say like they're, let's say they're early 40s and they aren't physically, they haven't really paid attention to that or prioritize it over the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And they aren't in an amazing physical fitness stance right now. When they're like, okay, how long until I feel like I'm noticing some differences, it's becoming more routine and easier? How long would you say?
I mean, that's so tough, to be honest, just because it depends on the person. But I would say with a lot of those people, I don't try to start them like 5-6 days a week or something. Like that's like the people that are just addicted and they won't stop and they love it. But like 3 days.
Why wouldn't you start them 5 days a week?
Because I think that there's a lot to be said for recovery time. And when it's something new to you, even if we're scaling it, you're probably going to be like feeling some kind of soreness. It doesn't mean that I encourage you to be stagnant on those days off. It just means maybe you don't come to the gym, or if you do come to the gym, maybe you just ride the bike and get some blood flow for recovery. But I do like to encourage people to start, like, if you check the boxes and it's minimal, ideally, if it's less than what you planned for, you're going to feel more encouraged. It's going to feel easier. But if you try to bite off more than you can chew too quickly, that's when I see people start to kind of regress. So that's where I would put people as far as that, is like making sure that they're, obviously we scale appropriately. Our coaches are hugely passionate about helping people, so they're there for you. We always have 2 coaches in the building at any given time to make sure that there's extra people. So if I have a brand new person that's just fresh off the street that needs a lot of help that day, like I can devote an entire coach to that person if I need to.
Yeah. That's cool. That's awesome. But I would agree. Like, I mean, for anything that I've done or people have, come across over years of doing stuff, in this field, too much too fast definitely leads to burnout real fast. And then,
and they have the best intentions.
Yeah, totally.
I want to get after it. I want to do it. And it's like, okay, well, if this is something that you haven't done in a while, I'd really rather you just kind of take it easy. And then if in a month you're surprising yourself and it's easy, then we can kind of bump it up.
Dial it up. Yeah, totally. Yeah, because I feel that too. If I'm starting something new, get super intense and passionate about the thing and excited about it because it's new too. But yeah, I bite enough more than I can chew and it becomes burnout. I know for also too, me personally, if I have like a laid out game plan of like, here's some structure, and here's like a plan, and if I follow this over the next 6 to 9 months, this is where I will be.
Yeah.
It would be unreasonable to think that I wouldn't get there if I follow this plan. It's like, oh, I'll get there.
Yeah.
I just didn't. Here's the plan. Versus like, I don't even know what I'm getting into. I can't see over the mountain in front of me because it's just blocking my view.
Yeah.
Whereas like, well, I have a plan and structure. Just stick with this. You're good. Just relax.
Yeah.
You're not going to dive in today. We're going to get to those aspects here later. You'll see these changes here. And over 9 months, you'll be a completely different person. It's like, oh, just got to stick to the plan then.
And also it's just like solved. To see the results, you have to do it, right?
Yeah.
So, if I have somebody that they join and they have the best intentions, but we're not seeing them, we're going to message you.
Yeah. Like you got to do the thing.
Yeah. We want to know where you are. Like we're not Planet Fitness. Like sorry, I shouldn't say that, but we don't want to just take your money. If you're not coming here, like I want you to get your money's worth. Like if you're paying us, then I would like you to come in and get the service that we're providing. So we're going to ask. And then a lot of times people are like, whoa, like they messaged me. And it's like, we do care. Like we're going to notice.
Yeah. And I would imagine too, like, not guilting anybody, because it's like, if people imagine somebody's like, oh, no, I didn't come in, I'm sorry. It's like, you're a bad person. No. Where are you? It's like, where you been? We miss you and we want to help you.
Exactly. And we do that all the time. We have members like that, or, like I said, when they have those friendships, maybe the members are actually the first one to message you like, hey, like 9 a.m. Where were you?
Yeah.
And I think that makes people feel like, oh, I matter here. People
it's true.
Care about me.
Did they see me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's something that I've noticed, that I didn't really consider that too. Where it's like, oh, I'm actually being noticed,
Yes.
Or like, where were you at? Whatever. But that accountability part really that helps a lot.
Yeah.
And the meaning, belonging, I should say.
That's a huge one. That's a good word to use.
And I know, okay, so I know stoicism is something. Oh, wait, before I get into that, I want to ask one more thing. Knowing what that definition of CrossFit, we get an idea of what's going on in the gym, what programming looks like or feels like. You're a huge Rich Froning fan. Matt Frazier, where we stand with him? Do you like him?
No. I think he's an incredible athlete. I like Fraser, but I think people undersell what Rich was doing at a time when nobody else was doing that. Matt benefited from a lot of the new like recovery protocols and stuff. And that was like a big thing right after he retired. He kind of revealed like he had an 8 sleep on his mattress. Like he was using, like he had total blackout curtains. Like he didn't even sleep in the same room as his girlfriend. Like he was like in a fortress of like recovery, and like all his meals were planned for him. Rich wasn't doing that stuff. Like he was just working really hard, and maybe some of it was genetics, but he was training like, 4 times a day, and he was just a good old boy, which I think is what I like about Rich. He's from Tennessee, and he just knows how to.
Is that where Mayhem is? In Nashville?
Yes, sir.
Or
well, it's in Cookeville, which is, I forget. It's like we went there once. It's like just out. It's like maybe 45 minutes, an hour outside of Nashville. I want to say.
To the east side?
East.
Because I've been there. Yes. I've done to CrossFit Mayhem, but to Cookeville.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We sit.
Actually, it's funny. Our sauna at the gym is from a company that I literally saw on the side of the road in Cookeville. It's called the Sauna Place. And then when we got it, I got the slip when it was delivered, and I was like, I remember seeing that. I didn't realize that's where we got it from.
That's funny. Subliminal, subconscious efforts by them. I had stayed like in an Airbnb, like in the woods, like out, I think near that area outside of Nashville.
No way.
It was really cool, but that was a while ago. It was before we even had our first kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've got 3 now.
Yeah, now we have 3. Yeah, dude. So that would have been, it was August of 2019.
Oh, wow.
I had just started this solo, just grinding, and CrossFit Squad is where I was.
Oh yeah, that's right.
At their first spot.
Yeah.
Kind of by the Brightline station. I was there for like a year, maybe 8 months, maybe 10 months.
You like sublet there?
Yeah, just a room in the back doing manual therapy and corrective exercises, with people.
Which is so cool. I mean, so many people get their start like subletting a space
just subletting gym, Yeah, and I did what you did, which is like just take a leap of faith, and I'm going to bet on myself, and then I don't know what it looks like, but I'll figure out how to get the parachute when I jump.
Look at you now, man, you're killing it.
Well, I'm trying. I think the main thing is kind of what you're saying. About finding the community and being known to just help. We're just trying to help people.
Yeah, doing
a really good job and delivering results. I think that's the key.
And you've got a solid team too.
That's also a huge key. You have to have the right team,
They came out, and our members were hugely thrilled.
Oh, about the injury screen? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know everyone was saying that, Dr. Matt, Dr. Gianna, Alex, they were like, man, Iron Valor is like the nicest place we've ever been. Like cleanliness and organization. It aesthetically looked nice.
It was awesome. And they actually gave us a really good compliment on our members, which I thought was huge, which was that, they were like, some people just kind of want you to fix it. But they were like, our members really wanted to know, like, what do I need to do?
What do I need to do? Yeah. Like, what's the problem here? Yeah. Why did it start in the first place? And then how do we fix it?
Because we really encourage like that coaching and like self-improvement stuff. And the fact that they really like embodied that, that was a huge compliment to me. That's on our membership base.
That's awesome. No, good. Glad. We'd love to help be a resource of just insights, if we can, in our lane, which is pain, like I said.
Yeah. Which we love having you guys as a resource too. Cause it just kind of like, we talked about it, but like you get those questions, whether I should be asked those questions or not. Like, I'm not a doctor, but like my members trust me.
Well, you're the first, you and the coaches are the first ones,
Yeah. So like to be able to have you guys as like the back pain clinic that we did was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Like that was a huge learning experience. And I love that you guys provide that for the community, for like the space of the fitness space.
Yeah. That little workshop we did in here. The tacos were good.
They were.
That was Alex's suggestion.
Yeah.
We're planning on doing another one. We're actually gonna do another one on TMJ dysfunction too soon.
I know. I heard that's like a new hobby interest for you.
Well, Dr. Gianna's that's gonna be, she's more of her niche, sub niche, dance for her too, because she was a dancer when she was in college.
Okay.
And then TMJ, because I think it's an interesting underserved community, in my opinion, of demographic that very interconnected with neck pain, headaches, that it just kind of goes overlooked. And then also it's like, well, what do you do for it? Well, you just take a bite guard. It's like, well, that's kind of like getting orthotics for your foot when somebody has like some kind of issue. It's like, well, why did it happen in the first place? That's what we have to figure out. And
did you read that book, Jaws?
No.
That's a good one. It's basically talks about like all the stuff that, you know, who talks about that, like jaw health, and like dental health and stuff like that. We'll have to dive into that. Dr. Gianna, like I said, that's like her thing. That's exciting. That's cool.
And then also Dr. Matt. So a sub niche for him is like vestibular, like vertigo and concussion.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So like, cause vertigo, you know, like dizzy spells, you know, it's not an uncommon thing by any means, but it's also not really known that like there's actually rehab for that.
Yeah.
Like what's the course of action? It's not just medication. Actually, that's just to help with symptoms.
Right.
But like, why is it happening in the first place? And then how can we, like, what actions can we take to actually improve the situation?
Yeah.
There's actually exercises and rehab stuff.
That's my favorite thing that you guys do is like, let's get to the source of the problem.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you have to, right? Yeah. Otherwise you're not going to get the results. Yeah. Otherwise people are going to they'll see a little bit of improvement just because usually they just like take away the stressor, which is like, hey, if I do shoulder press, it hurts.
Yeah. Hey,
problem solved. Don't do shoulder press and take Advil.
I know. Yeah.
Dude, like it's not going to help. Why did it happen in the first place?
Yeah. And
the question we ask for that too, like for people, exercise enthusiasts, you know, that work out a ton, they're super pushing themselves a lot. Are you doing more shoulder press than your colleagues and your friends?
Right.
If the answer is not really, you're doing the same, but they don't have shoulder problems, but you do, then it's not just a volume problem.
Right.
You're doing something different.
For sure.
Same kind of thought with like another great one is like throwers, you know, like baseball. Mm-hmm. So imagine like a high school athlete, baseball player. He's pitcher or whatever, plays baseball, and he now has a shoulder issue. His shoulder hurts.
Yeah.
Or his elbow, and they get an MRI, and it's not really remarkable. Mm-hmm. So you're not a surgical candidate. You don't need surgery. All right. That's only going to be if like an extreme tear or something like that, which usually is not the case. And they can't do anything for you now. So what are you going to do? They usually say, well, dial back your throwing, take some ice and Advil and just rest, and then go back in 6 weeks. And then they go back and throw, and they do the exact same thing they were doing previously that caused the problem.
Right.
So when they come in to see us, and it's like, well, if volume was the issue, as in like you're just throwing too much, so just rest, then every baseball player would get some kind of an issue by 3 weeks or 3 months into the season.
Yeah.
But not everybody's getting the same thing. So like, all right, are all your friends and teammates throwing way less than you are and you're throwing way more? No, you guys are doing the same. Okay, then you're doing something different with your throwing mechanics. Yeah. And then some kind of compensation issue with either mobility or strength, stability. We have to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
You're doing something different.
Yeah.
And then we can solve that.
What I love about that too is like, I think there's a whole other piece to that human aspect of it is like, a lot of these kids are really depending, like maybe they have a full ride or something. So it's like
their ticket.
They need to address it because and a lot of the kids, I'm sure you've seen, they keep throwing even if they're severely injured.
You just push through it.
Yeah. And then it's a career-ending injury no matter what at that point, if they have a tear or something.
If they push through it too much, it just worsens the situation. I think the thing that resonates with me, and then also too, I guess with like, you just staying physically active now. Mm-hmm. On a broader spectrum, but earlier, like with these young athletic people, is like their window of opportunity is very small. If they're a freshman, you know, through senior in high school. I mean, did you play sports in high school?
Yeah, but not competitively.
Well, imagine somebody how many people do you hear stories back in the glory days? We almost won the state champion, whatever. Right. That's freshman year, you're not going to play. Yeah. You're too young. You're too small. You're just not developed yet.
Yeah.
Maybe sophomore year, majority of your playing time is junior and senior year, especially. It's in a 2-year window where if you're hampered with
snapshot in your life,
but it lasts memories forever. And also character building opportunities and discipline and whatever, teamwork, all that stuff. And integrity, community appreciation, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then friendships, you know, but anyway, there's a small window of opportunity where if that's hampered by injury, then you just can't capitalize on that.
Yeah.
So that's a huge, thing for us that we can, visualize and live vicariously through the patients we have now, looking back for ourselves, but then also with people now that are working out consistently throughout their life. The window, there is a window of opportunity where, for people that are older and wiser than myself, when they are in their 40s, let's say, and they come see us and they're like, my back hurts, whatever. They're like, don't stop. Just don't stop. Don't lose your mobility. don't stop being physically active because it shrinks so quickly. And then it's impossible. It's just very difficult to really make strides and efforts above the current ceiling as it is.
Yeah.
So if you maintain your ceiling, then you're always going to be able to have that, you know?
And all of us, I think, are like, I mean, you're going to degrade naturally, like we just all do. So the higher that threshold is, the less significant that reduction over time of like our VO2 max or whatever it is, that as we get older, it's just naturally going to go down.
Right. And everything goes down, you know, bone mineral density, systemic health, cardiovascular health, pulmonary health, and then just hormonal, all those things, sort of for longevity, you know?
Yeah.
So it's cool that those guys, you have like, 70-year-olds that are in your gym, you know, trying to work out and stuff.
I mean,
what would they say?
The best people to coach, really.
Oh, I agree.
The most rewarding to coach,
because they're usually very open, and they're like, tell me more. What can I do? I'm here to help. I'm here to just help myself, and I want to listen.
Yeah.
Versus like, I know everything.
19-year-old kid who's just like, yeah, whatever, coach. I'm gonna just throw more plates on. You know.
Like,
but yeah, they're
20 years from now.
Learn. They want to be self-sufficient, and then any new skill that you help them develop, like, they blow their own mind. They're like so impressed with themselves. Like, I didn't think I could do that, and like that's the best feeling when you're coaching somebody and they can like surprise themselves.
What do you think they would say for longevity?
For longevity,
73-year-old dudes that are in there. Or ladies.
I would say the same thing. I mean, I don't mean to keep like saying the same, but it's like the community, like, because they know that it's important. That's why they're here. Like, they know they need to work out. They know that they need to do strength training. They know that they need to do some cardiovascular stuff, but they also, like, what keeps them coming is those people they're working out alongside. And then that's a huge thing for like mental health, just like having, like, we're communal animals. Like, totally. We need to have that interaction.
100% agree.
So that's what I think they would say is like, my secret is I come in here, I work out, and I laugh with my friends.
That's awesome.
You know, between sets when they're resting, they're joking, they're laughing, they're having a great time.
That's awesome. The last thing before we wrap it up, I know stoicism has been something that you're into, that I also am into. Yeah. What got you into to begin with?
I'm trying to remember, actually. I mean, we talked about Ryan Holiday. I think maybe that was my first insight. I did read the Daily Stoic. We were talking about books. He's got so many. Yeah. He has a whole series on the 4 Stoic virtues, and I want to read that. I'm actually in my cart. Do you ever do that? Yeah. Just put stuff in your shopping cart and you never buy it? Yeah. There's like the signed editions, but there's discipline, justice, wisdom, and
I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah. But there's 4. Yeah. There's 4. Yeah.
Purpose, service,
justice, wisdom, courage.
Okay.
It's courage. So I think I got into it through him, and like, you know, Instagram page. He has an Instagram page, and they'll just post these quotes. And then I read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, which is super cool as a book, because it's essentially a Roman emperor's journal, where he's writing to himself without any intention of publishing. That just happened after the fact. Yeah. But he's like, you need to be a better person. Like, you need to challenge yourself. Like, things like that we all struggle with. Yeah. Like the famous quote is like, he was trying to get out of bed, and he was just like, why do you lay there underneath the covers? Because you can stay like comfy and warm. Is that what you were made to do? Yeah. You know, to just like hide underneath the covers? Or were you made to get up and move and do your work as a human being? Yeah. To like help others and like provide value. Yeah, totally. And I think about that all the time. Like, I think we've all struggled to pull ourselves out of bed. Yeah, I love that. When you do like what we do, and we actually get to have a positive impact on other people's lives, getting out of bed becomes a lot easier. Yeah, I love that. I do it at 4:30.
Oh, that's good, man. That's very commendable.
Right.
There's, I like waking up early and doing that. It's just hard right now on our end.
Well, I don't have 3 children, to be clear.
But I do like that, I think one thing I heard recently in that kind of boat is, I've changed this quote a little bit, but it was like, comfort over greatness, for sure. Like, be comfortable. Don't be great. Comfort. That's what's more important. Like, no. Hold on a second. I'm going to choose comfort over like being the best version of myself. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to do that.
To do that, you have to be uncomfortable. I mean, that's kind of the same thing with like working out at the gym. It's like, we have to put ourselves, I don't want to, like your thing too, like, I don't want people to be in pain, but I do want them to push themselves into an area of discomfort to some extent. And then that's where you get better, is in that place.
Totally agree. And the last thing I'll say is the difference is like, and we talked about people athletic and work out a lot. There's a difference between joint pain and then just like muscle burn, which is like no pain, no gain, push through it. That's just like muscle burn and it's hard, versus joint pain, which would be like detrimental pain. And that's what we want to avoid.
And we always tell people that. Yeah. Like if you're feeling pain, I want you to stop.
Yeah. And a lot of people know the difference. Like if they're athletic at some capacity, you know? Mm-hmm. Well, I think we got to wrap it up, but thanks for coming in and sharing insights and stuff. What's the best way people can reach out to you?
Spencer,
Iron Valor.
Spencer at ironvalorcrossfit.com is my email if you have any questions about the gym. And then follow us on Instagram, Iron Valor CrossFit.
Cool. Awesome, man. Well, thank you. And if y'all have any questions, comments, concerns, don't ever hesitate to reach out. We'd love to get y'all's opinions. Or if you're battling any pain, you can also call us. We can at least give you some insights, maybe what to do next. And we'll catch y'all next time.